You're listening to JW Raw with Eminem.
We are live.
Well, good morning. We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm not sure where or when you are watching this, but welcome to our show, JW Raw. I'm Mark.
Me, sure.
And we have a very special in-studio guest today, Natacha Karam from, she's actually filming in Albuquerque right now from the Brave series.
Thanks for having me.
The up-and-coming Hollywood actress.
Welcome to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's been great. I've been here 4 months now, almost.
That is so cool.
Yeah, the time's almost up. I'm getting sad about it.
When they said you're going to Albuquerque to film this pilot way back when, what did you think?
So this sounds like I'm lying, but the only reason why I knew Albuquerque existed was because of Jackson's.
Really?
Literally, yeah. Everyone knows it from Breaking Bad, but I never really watched Breaking Bad, so the only reason I knew it was because of Jackson's.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know that about you, that you've been training for a very, very long time, and you've been training actually in-house here with Coach Joey Villasenor.
Yeah.
How's that going?
He's great. Yeah, it's going great. You know, I think part of the reason I got the part is because of the kind of, badassy stuff that I do in real life anyway. But I started training boxing about, I think it's only been like a year and a half, but I went hard. As soon as I started, I was like, I can't stop this. And I started training 6 days a week, 7 days a week. And then I started trying to find the best gyms in the world and train there every time I'm in town. Like when I was in New York, I did Church Street for a while. When I was in LA, I did Wildcard for like a month and a half, like every day. And actually, funny thing, Freddie Roach was the first person who I told in person that I got this job.
Oh, that's badass.
It was so, like, I was in the changing rooms at Wildcard, and I knew I was waiting to hear back, and my phone was in my bag, and I did a whole session, and I was all like, all the adrenaline kicking. I went into my room, into the changing room, which is like literally like a closet. And the men's changing room, I've never been in, I don't know what it's like, but the women's changing room is a closet with like their storage in there. I'm in there, I'm like looking through my bag, and I see my phone, and there's like 100 missed calls from my agent and a couple of emails, and I'm like, holy fuck, I did it.
You did it.
Oh my God, I did it. And I was like, I'm gonna cry, and I'm like, don't fucking cry, you can't cry. And I was like, you know what, I can cry, because I'm here. Because I'm in a boxing gym, in a fucking closet that's all sweaty and smelly, and because the first person I'm gonna tell is Freddie Roach, I was like, it's cool, I can cry, I'm
cool
badass.
Yeah, that sport consumes you, right? Like any type of martial arts. Same like with me, opened up so many doors with me. I started training jiu-jitsu back then, and just like boom, it just exploded.
Yeah, right. It just becomes so addictive instantly. You start, and then like, I mean, if it's for you, some people it's just not for them. But then some people just like, I started and I was like, oh my God, I feel alive. I feel like alive. I feel motivated. I feel committed for like the first time in my life.
We see it here all the time.
Yeah.
With so many people coming through, they can't live without it.
Yeah, people come in all the time from all over the world, and they have this passion. So we give them the tryouts. They have to try out with one of the coaches, and they either have it or they don't. And even if they do have it, they'll only come for a couple weeks, and then they'll just disappear. It's like, you gotta maintain it. You gotta keep it. And
funny, even like for we trained so hard on this show. Like boxing's what I do for fun. That's not compulsory. Like I do that as soon as I can. That's like my weekend. My treat is like I get to box whenever I've got any time off. But like the amount of training we've done, we've just been non-stop hardcore. And then, it comes to Christmas time and everyone's like, oh, I'm taking a break. What are you doing? Where are you going? I'm like, what would be the perfect Christmas? I've just decided to go to Thailand to go to boxing camp for 2 weeks. And everyone's like, why don't you just fucking chill and just not work out? I'm like, yo, why don't I go do what I want to do, which is just train all day, every day, and then kick it on the beach? Like,
one of our
I
coaches
can't think of anything better.
Ask this guy, like we're building whatever the thing is this. If I don't train, if I miss my training, he runs away. I yell, not that I yell, but I'm saying like it drives me nuts.
He does.
Like it's if I don't get my dose.
I had a week or 10 days when we were doing night shifts, and I couldn't get in with Joey, and everything was. And by the time I did get in with Joey for a session, he was like, girl, you're angry. I was like, I'm angry.
I've been waiting for this moment.
I haven't had an outlet for 10 days.
It's not just him. Wow, that's crazy.
It's a common occurrence.
It happens. You can feel everything starts being a little more like,
oh, he had an injury.
Patience is wearing thin.
It's a drug.
4 months.
It's a good drug.
It is a good drug,
something that, like, they know, like, I've been having big problems with my back because of grappling and stuff for many years. And just, like, when you take time off, it just, like, You start eating bad. You start like snapping on people.
Yeah, once it starts going, it's gone.
It's like I started doing yoga now. Have you done yoga?
I've just got to the point where I've started yoga. I've always been like, never, I can't.
I'm in love.
And then
no,
now
it's not like that though.
Did
you start like regular hot yoga?
Hot yoga.
Yeah, there's different versions.
I'm doing hot yoga. I couldn't do normal. Hot yoga downtown.
Here in downtown, yeah.
I went to his. I went a couple of times, but it's so far away from my house, and I don't drive, so I'm like Ubering up there for like half an hour.
Either way, it's still good.
So you went to Keith and Jody's place?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, see, that's up on our side of town.
Because I was like, the thing that's always deterred me from yoga is the like Zen element of it. I just am not there yet. I don't have that much chill in my life. I can't be around people that. And so then when they're like 2 fighters open a gym, I'm like, I'm going.
Yeah, that's the
one. It's like I don't think of it as Zen and this and that, a spiritual thing like this. It just first of all, for you to get there. To begin with, it's going to take years of practice.
Oh, yeah. So
it's not going to
get there,
Because I try to meditate and I suck at it.
Oh,
like, it's such a hardest thing to set your mind to certain
especially this guy. He needs to have a phone in front of him all day, every day.
I'm like, my mind is racing because I have hundreds of people trying to reach me nonstop. And you know how busy it is. You see how busy it is. So, but I think this yoga thing and just, first of all, it reminds me of jiu-jitsu. It gives you the same feeling, either training, like you're sweating it, you're putting your body under stress, you're getting kind of similar adrenaline just without anyone putting stress on your body, except you're doing it yourself, so you're controlling your own body, in a certain way. And it's like, it just helping me in so many aspects. Like I slept like a baby last night. I did one.
I'm getting into it. I'm getting into it. It's like the first month of my life that I've been doing yoga.
Like once a week.
Are you doing once?
Just for now.
See, I go harder. I go home. I've been doing yoga.
I do grappling every day.
Oh, there
so
you go.
I have to I mean, this is my priority, but like I have to take a day off from grappling because I'll continue getting injured more. So I have to throw it in there.
Yeah.
So I kind of like give myself a break because I'll grapple 7 days in a row. But my body will fall apart.
That's what happened to me the first time I went to Thailand. Yeah. I was just like, oh my God, all day, every day, and then I'd be like, hey, it's the time for the week. Ow.
Crash.
I can't go on the boat out. Like everything would hurt, and the weekend would be crap, and then it would be like. So this time I'm going to be a bit more chill. I'm not going to pre-schedule the way I did last time.
Your accent is awesome. Where's the origin? Where's the
London?
So you are from London?
I'm not actually from London at all, but I think my accent got very London in the 5 years that I was there.
That's cool.
I used to have a more Irish accent.
It's pretty cool because of course Michael Vega came in and did a show with us a few shows back, and
awesome guy.
He was he's the one that introduced us to the show and said the and so I watched a couple episodes. I I never have time to watch full episodes, but you're a regular English speaking American English.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
see,
American English, I should say.
Everyone in America always says to me, I can't believe you have an accent. And I'm like, what do you mean an accent?
Yeah.
It's like, because it's not your accent.
It's the Queen's English.
Like, but you speak English. Yeah. You speak English. And I'm like, yes, I speak English. No, English like us. And I'm like, okay.
American
English, British English. Like, but I think everyone's always surprised, which means I'm obviously doing a good job.
Yeah, you are known to, I guess, to imitate different accents.
Where did you get this information from?
Well, don't do this
to me.
We have our sources.
We have spies.
Don't do this to me.
We have spies everywhere.
So what accents can you do?
I can do a lot of accents. Oh, no, you're going to put
me on Russian? Come
on, do some Russian.
We got a genuine Russian accent.
Never do an accent in front of someone who's
We got a genuine Russian in the house.
No, negative. Hard pass.
All right, give us something else. I mean, what else can you do? Indian?
I don't give a performing monkey. I can, but that's always going to be racist, so I'm not even going to go there.
Oh, man. See.
We'll have fun off air.
We have all this. We have this like right there. We can get it.
We're going to have you put on the hat even.
Do the accent in the hat. Hard pass. No, next.
But it's cool.
But how did you discover that talent? Like, I mean, that's not easy, man. I mean,
always. Since I was a kid, it was like, I don't know what it was. I listened a lot. But in a good way, in a bad way. In a bad way, like I used to over-listen conversations and always try and find out what was going on. And I was a very snoopy kid. And I just became fascinated by accents. And I grew up kind of in the Middle East, moving around every couple of years, my dad's job. So we'd always be around like a melting pot of people. So I was very accustomed to hearing different voices and different accents and things. And I just started putting on these like one-man shows as a kid, making my parents sit down for like an hour, and they'd be like, I'm like, watch me, and I'd play like every character and every accent.
So what are you, a linguist or an actress? I mean, come on, man.
Well, but no, she's a performer because like I believe like if like you know like I used to watch a lot of TV back in the day, not anymore, like those entertainment channels things. You see like how this like about movie stars where they began,
where they started,
and they always show these kids just like
who just love it, too much energy.
It's in you. I mean, like you're born with it. That's what drives you, I guess, and that's how it comes out. I mean,
that's the bit. I think that's the bit that you're born with. I think that's the bit you're born with. The bit that you're not born with is like how to cope once. You know, I mean, I'm not there yet. It's starting to happen. Like all the publicity and the red carpets and the talk shows and that kind of shit. I'm not cut out for that. That's not my comfort zone.
Oh, you better get used to it.
You know, I am. I'm starting to. But like the first few times, I was like, Jesus, I'm having an anxiety attack. This is weird. This is not my comfort. I didn't say like, hey, I want everyone to know who I am and I want to talk about my life. I said, hey, I want to be someone else.
Yeah, you just.
I want to pretend to be someone else on screen and do, you know. Yeah. They're two very different things, and I'm kind of learning how to
balance it, and adjust it.
But I was saying to Joey the other day that fighting gyms, since I've started going to fighting gyms, I've made more friends than I probably, like real friends, than I probably made in my whole life, because there's something that I have in common with these people. Like as soon as I walk into a gym, I'm like, these are people who have like motivation, who are committed, who have drive, who are fighting against something. That's the thing. You're always fighting against something. Any good fighter started somewhere where they didn't want to be, and they're now somewhere else. And it's like it's that I can relate to, and I'm like, okay, what's at the core of you is at the core of me, and we gel, and I like this, and I found more friends in this world than I have in.
That's cool. So you're deep down inside a fighter too, I guess.
I would love to, man. I would love to. You know, I started sparring just before I got this job, and I was starting to get really into it, and I was like, you know, I think I could fight. Da, da, da. And everyone was like, don't, you're an actress, just don't do it. And then I get this part, and I'm like, yes, it's amazing.
Next thing
and
you know, you're going to have cauliflower.
Yeah, well, you know, I keep, like, bits of me are like, come on, just put the gum guard in, so you start sparring, and then I'm like, I'm not going to get hired if I break my face. That's my career is over.
That's my money maker.
So let's talk about that a little bit. So you started out boxing, and now here we are in obviously the world famous Jackson Wick
MMA. Yeah.
So how is that crossover working out? I mean,
I can't cross over too much because I have very weak legs. I was in a wheelchair for a substantial amount of time when I was a kid, and one of my legs was just never really meant to work. And it does now, and it works. And, you know, I've been through loads of operations.
Therapy.
Loads of, you know, and I think I forget about that sometimes because I found a strength and I found this thing. And I'm like, okay, let's just keep going on this track. And then I'm like, drop back, don't do it. One kick and your leg could break in half and you could be back where you were 5, 6, 7 years ago.
So you're just more comfortable standing than going on the ground.
But, you know, we started throwing elbows recently, Joey and I, and I'm like, I kind of like this. You know, I feel like I'm always looking at the next step, and then soon but it's, you know, I can't kick. But maybe one day.
But still, there's so much to learn.
There's so much to learn.
That's why this sport is so addictive, because there's a never ending learning process. Someone always better than you.
Yeah, someone's always going to be better than you.
Always, no matter what.
Someone's always going to be worse than you too.
Yeah, and that too, where you can use those people to grow. Obviously, you know, that's why it's good to have gyms like this that have so many training partners that you can and then coaches that you take different perspectives from different things, and you build your own game. So you build your own game around it. So you build your own fighter. Like in your mind, the way I see it. That's why it's good to cross train and go doing the things that you're doing, like going to Thailand.
I mean, we had even in Thailand though, man. Thailand, when I went, they're like tough little bastards.
Oh yeah,
and they want to smack your shins with. I'm like, yo, I'm not using my legs. And the second you say that, they're like. And every day I have like scars on my legs. Every day I went in shorts to be like, remember, look at the scars. I can't kick, you know. And then it took me a while to earn my little coach's respect out there. And then he started respecting me more and more. But at the beginning, I was like, you know, my ego got in the way. And this guy's like doing body conditioning. And then he's like, put your gum guard in. I'm like, oh, we're going to spar? And I knew I wasn't supposed to be sparring. So I was like, okay, yep. Anyway, get my gum guard, come back. And he's like, put your hands behind your back. And I'm like, okay, yep, standing there. He starts body conditioning, and then he comes up and starts smacking me in the face. And he's like, face conditioning. And I was like, this isn't a thing. And my brother was stood there looking at me like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Just say no. And I was like, my ego. I can't. And I just stood there and got punched for like 3 minutes. And then the next day I was like, looking around to see if he was doing it to anyone else, and I was like, you're not. Yeah. You don't face condition anyone else. You just wanted to like.
Hey, that's how you earn your fight name.
Face.
Get all tough guy on me. I was like, oh my god.
That's literally how you earn like fight names because you're tough.
My name's gonna be face conditioning now. That sounds dirty. I can't.
The face conditioner.
Well, if you had to find, you ever thought about it? If you did fight?
No, I haven't
What's your
thought
fight
about
name?
it. Oh, I'm still thinking about that. I can't.
Come on.
No, I haven't. I haven't thought about it.
Come on, it's a sniper. I mean, you're playing a
it's
sniper.
Got to be something. I mean,
cool.
the guys
Sniper.
will call me Baby Snipes.
There you go. See, so people are even talking about it.
Yeah. They call me
like
Baby
that.
Snipes or Baby Shamps.
I like Baby Snipes. I think that's it. That's stuck.
Baby Snipes? Am I Baby Snipes?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Baby
Natasha
Snipes.
Baby
Until I get
Snipes.
too old looking and we can't call me Baby anymore.
And in the red corner we have.
Oh, one day. Yeah, my dream is to get a boxing role. That would be like the best. If I can't live it in, then I'd love to live it on screen.
There is matches that do celebrity boxing. This is something you could raise too.
Kim Kardashian.
Call her out. Yo, use this opportunity right now.
No.
Which one, Chloe? Is it Chloe? Is that
I don't watch it. Which
Any one of them. All three at the same time. All
They'd
three.
be more worried about breaking their face than I am about mine, so I think I'd win. It's probably going to be in a contract,
That's the
like,
one
please don't punch me in the face.
Bruce Jenner's their mom, and
Alright, so you're officially calling them out. Let's do
come
it.
on then, girl. Let's
Let's
do
go.
it.
And we'll do it here at
I
the gym.
challenge you.
Here at the gym. At our cage. World famous Jackson Wink and
If she ever responds, then I'll do it.
Baby Snipes.
Baby Snipes. I'll do it. I'm
that
in.
is awesome. I think we got some breaking
Kardashian
news. Let's
Breaking news.
let's call our media team and
Lord have mercy.
get some breaking news going on here. So have you gotten Starstruck here at the gym with any of our fighters? Have you?
I met Bones out of Vinaigrette. I didn't meet him in the gym here.
Yeah, he's
taking
some time off.
Yeah, but that was when I first got it. It was before his fight.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
And I met him at Vinaigrette. I was just having a salad or whatever, and then I was like, oh my god.
Did he recognize you?
And do you recognize me? Are you kidding? No.
Hey, you never know. Yeah,
I recognized
you're about
him
to
and
be
then
famous.
Demetrius, our
You
guy.
recognize a pretty girl.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did
Yeah, he's
that.
pretty good at recognizing pretty girls.
Oh god. And then our guy from the show, Demetrius, who plays Preach, knew the quote that was on his chest or whatever. Yeah, and then he started quoting it to him, and then those two started talking, and then I was just like, because I think I'm the only one who really knows. No, I was just like, can't look up, And then they were all taking, I was like, you want to take a photo? Yeah, I'll take a photo, yeah. And I had full intentions of coming to train here, and the other guys don't really do any well, they do and they don't, but they had no intentions of coming here. And suddenly they were all like, yeah, we'll come train, we're going to Jackson.
We got invited by John Jones.
Who are your favorite fighters from this camp? Like, I know there's probably many, but like...
Holly. I know it's such a, but you know what?
Holly is everyone's favorite.
You know, it's
as you can see, we have her more pictures of her than anyone else, I guess. I that was coincidence.
She just have a lot of history with this gym with Coach Wink, like since 15 years.
Yeah.
That's why it's kind of so much more.
Yeah, but she's also like, she's epic. She's amazing. I also saw her in Vinaigrette, but I didn't actually see her face. I just saw her back and I knew who it was.
You know the hair,
it was my first day in Albuquerque.
Which one's Vinaigrette? Where
it's where they're all at. It's a healthy eating restaurant.
They need to be our sponsor, I'm telling you.
Yeah, seriously, I was there, I was eating, and then it was my second day maybe in Albuquerque, and Holly's back was like there. And I just, like, she didn't turn around, I didn't turn around. I knew it was her. It was just like, you can't, like, I'm in Albuquerque. She obviously lives out here with a back like that muscly and toned, and the hair.
And the longest, blondest hair ever.
Yeah, just waiting for her to turn around, and she never did. And then I saw her I was like, I've seen her in the gym lots now. But I think I still get a bit like,
She talks about how when
even
she's
we
out
get
and about.
Starstruck, man.
I mean, obviously, it's going to happen to you.
Yeah,
where you don't want to be recognized.
Quite.
You just want to go in there and have your sandwich.
Yeah, I'd never pat her on the shoulder and be like, oh, I mean, I feel like it's amazing. Sometimes it's really nice. Sometimes people say things to you that you actually want to hear, and you're like, thank you, and then they walk away. Other times people want to get into a 20-minute conversation. It's nothing against them. It's just like, you don't have the time.
I'm busy.
It's like I spend all day, being one place to the next. Like even today, I've got this car just picking me up, dropping me off, picking me up, dropping me off, all these different places, throwing me here and there. And then it's like, when that finishes, you might just want to sit down and be like, whew.
Yeah. And it's just starting.
I know.
It still feels
good. It does feel good. Of course it feels good. But
busy
there's like
good.
this, like you're on like a carrot. This is my favorite thing I'm doing today.
That's awesome.
As soon as I got hit up, being like,
thank you.
True. I was like on the,
feel so
I
special
did.
now.
Well, because I feel like I'm like, in a fighting gym, people give a fuck. I'm like, woo! Like, it's changed so much from when you first walk in and you're like, oh God, everything smells like sweat and, blood and no one's looking at me. And how the fuck am I going to come up to someone and be like, I want to train? Like when I first started in London and then having people just be like, you want to train what? I'm being like, I don't really know, okay? I hit some pads a few times and I really liked it and now I want to start. Like, and then gradually getting more and more comfortable in these environments and seeing how they work and learning that you have to earn people's respect and I love it.
The smell, you brought up the smell.
I love the smell now.
This is our safe zone. We close that door. There's no smell.
The smell becomes like
you know what?
You become immune to it.
We've been here for a long time now, for years now, and you literally walk in and you're not affected by it anymore. But
people say it's not as bad though. Maybe there's some gyms. How was it in Thailand?
This gym's not that bad. In where? Thailand? It's all outdoors, so there's not really. But like as soon as someone picks something up and like holds it in front of you, you're like, yo. yeah, that's great. No, I'll just box without gloves on because I remember I left my gloves in my hotel room and I was going to be late, so I like ran down. I was like, sorry, I don't have my gloves, but I'd rather be here on time. He's like, yeah, take these, and hands me these things, and I was like, like I have a limit, and that's the limit. That can't, no way.
Yeah, you got energy.
I do.
You got a lot of. You're going 100 miles an hour. That's awesome.
That's why she's making it in this world.
I do have energy.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, sometimes when I don't have energy, I'm like flat out though. It like goes. There's no kind of like in between. It's
do you still have that energy after a session with Joey though?
Sometimes.
That's good.
That's a challenge, Joey. Sometimes.
Joey's good coach.
Oh, he's great.
He's awesome.
He's great. Me and my pivots now. I never used to pivot, and now all I do is pivot. And I even got him the other day when we were sparring or whatever. Well, not really sparring, but I was like, and I just kept pivoting, and he was like, I still don't expect it because you only just learned how to do this.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's like you start putting it into practice, and
makes him so proud. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's like
one of the listeners.
Wow.
It's actually very fun to watch because like I've been observing and working with Coach Wink and all these coaches for a while too. It's like you get new fighters that come in and they start like and they obviously here to learn from them, right? And then they'll come in with like limited set of skills or something that's not their game, and then because like especially it happens with me a lot that I observe with Russian fighters that speak Russian, they don't speak English. And Coach Wink has me like, hey, can you translate? Can you help? So I watch that and I see that, and then when they spar and they go on live or even in the fight. Even I pick up those little things that they were taught, and that they like when they do that move, they do that, and that works, and they land a shot or kick or whatever. So I'm like,
it also feels feels great.
And it feels good. Yeah,
it feels great when you're like, yes,
I did it.
Like I did it.
Yeah,
and when it comes from a place of instinct and it's not like it's calculated anymore.
Yeah, it becomes part of you, part of who you are. It's like there's,
I hope I do this forever. I really do. I hope I never give up on. I want to hang around fight gyms for my whole life.
I already told myself I will die in the mats. Like, I mean, I already know. Like, it's.
And that's true. He will.
I will die in the bed.
He literally
from the mats.
From the mat or on the mat.
He goes to bed thinking of it, wakes up thinking of it. He lives it all day. I mean, this is his dream job.
I gotta get some lunch.
So what's the? Obviously you were training with Michael.
He can't get not Mikhail.
He always says, he always says to me, Cal, you, Tash. Me, Cal, you, Tash. Yeah.
There you go.
Mikhail. Said it again, Mikhail. Not Mikhail. Mikhail.
Anyway, the SEAL.
Mikhail Vega.
The badass SEAL. So you train with him, and you train with Joey. You train with other coaches. What's the difference? What are you getting out of each one? What do you think?
Everyone brings something different. I think I like an environment which is. I always thought I liked an environment which was. I don't know how to put this correctly. I liked the your shit, work harder when I was starting out because you need it to come from but it's not though, and I always thought I wanted that, and then I stopped getting that. And I remember going home from sessions with like my first or second boxing coach and crying and being like, I'm never gonna get better, but crying like in a real frustrated, just like, oh, I can't fucking get it. Why can't I get it? I want to get better, but constantly feeling like it's never gonna happen. And then when I started training with Mikhail and kind of my boxing coach in London, Ori, and Joey here, I started being like, I'm missing it a little bit. Like, why aren't you kind of abusing me? Why aren't you? And then realizing, oh, wait, that's not what you do. You build from a place of strength. You don't like knock someone down to a place of weakness. And I've enjoyed much more being like, you know, Mikhail will look me in the eye and be like, I'll be at the end of my reps being like, I can't do it anymore. And he'll be like, 5 more. And he'll just make eye contact and be like, 5, 4. And you just find yourself doing it. You're like, yeah, I can. Rather than someone being like, drop down.
Yeah.
Well, you have to realize too, it's a professional environment too.
Yeah.
It's movie industry.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if you were in boot camp,
well, yeah. I mean, but I don't think he does boot camp in that way. That's not his mentality.
But you know what's crazy about you though? That you literally are surrounded by like the most badasses from so many different walks of life. Those, like, I mean, you in the war movies, right? So you're surrounded by these technical advisors that like literally almost like sacrifice their lives and been injured in these ways and stuff, and then you're around the best fighters in the world. It's kind of crazy that you have.
I don't forget that.
You feed off of that. Like it makes you a better person. That's why all these people that come in here, then they try to surround themselves with these people because they want to pretty much.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I go to all these like gyms, and not because I think I need the best of the best training, because I'm not there yet. You know, it's not like I need to be trained by Freddie Roach. It's not like I need to be at Jackson's. I choose to come to these places to be surrounded by these people, to take something with me from them, and have the drive that. You know, it's amazing to have that kind of energy around you all the time, of people who are motivated, driven, successful, and the best at what they do.
All we ask is that you stay away from a.k.a. or ATT or competitor gyms. We don't.
I'm here. I made my choice.
I'm just messing with you. There's some great teams.
I made my choice.
But you know about the war movies and stuff. Like I was telling Mikhail too the same thing. I'm like, Mikhail, you know, actually, me doing what I do and even all these fighters, like. I feel intimidated actually by him, like in a good way. Like I feel like I'm literally shit compared to
the shit.
Well, it's not that. It's like the stuff that he does and that you do.
He's a real life he's a real life hero. You know, fighters, they're great. They sacrifice their life here and there. They fight whatever, but the end goal, you don't really die. I mean, yes, there's a chance. But at war, you die. Your end goal is most likely, you know, you on the fight, you sacrifice your life. Most likely you're gonna die. Maybe not if you're lucky. If you're lucky enough. That's why I have such utmost. I mean, I spent time in the Navy. I've been around military guys too and stuff like that. This stuff is scary, like straight up scary.
It's terrifying, and you know the people that I've met. This show has opened my eyes to the world of the military so much more, and I have a new, profound level of respect for everyone and anyone who gets up in the morning and decides, today I sacrifice my life for people that I don't know.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Yeah.
You know, people I've never met. Yeah. For their freedom, for their equality, for their whatever, I will sacrifice my life day in, day out. It's like every day they wake up and they make that decision again, knowing the consequences of, you know, and so that to me has like blown my mind, and I get on every single level, every bit of the tier, you know, it's like, especially like being around someone with Mikhail, and then knowing how difficult it is for these people to reintegrate back into the world. Hence Mikhail's charity, Vital Warrior.
He told us some stories,
but you know, how do these people get back into the world?
Yeah, some never do.
Some never do,
especially with injuries.
Because
like
they live
in the amount of drugs he was on from his surgeries and stuff. It's like
a very sensitive.
It's like it's almost like that trip never ends.
No,
for the rest of your life, you just signed up, you went in, not knowing what's going to happen. Kind of like, okay, no, I'm going to try to do the right thing, and then. For the rest of your life,
we did a big segment on that. How he came back just addicted to 17 different drugs, and he just he finally just said, Jason's watching. Jason, is he on drugs or what's
No, I didn't.
He needs some yoga, man.
When's Halloween? Oh,
it's gone.
I'm bad with dates.
Get it?
Yeah, this poor that guy's got PTSD, man.
There's like, you know, and then we've got to meet so many of these people going to Air Force bases and doing things. We went to Curtin here and, you know, trying to meet the real life heroes and having a level of understanding of the responsibility that we have as actors and as storytellers to try and show how heroic these people are through our series. There is movie magic. We can't be accurate 24/7, but we endeavor to be as accurate as possible in the things that matter. I'm not going to walk around, you know, handling weapons incorrectly because it's kind of insulting.
See, and I love that, and I brought that up with Mikhail that it's so.
It's still stammering over every time. Why don't you just call him Vega?
The seal.
Call him Vega.
Vega. I can say Vega.
Vega's great. Hey, Vega.
But anyway, we had a conversation about that. This show is great because they hired him because they know he knows how to actually use these weapons. They did it
so
right.
Much more than that, yeah.
And so he's teaching you guys how to do it right because I cringe and many people from backgrounds in military and law enforcement, they cringe when they see people holding a gun a certain way.
Except for martial arts, when you see those cheesy martial arts movies, it just gets like, really?
So the fact that you guys are getting it right is big.
I love your profession, to be honest with you, because you like what you learn right now, you'll carry with you like
for the rest of
your life.
It's crazy. I get to pick up small things of everything.
If war comes around, you're ready. If you gotta fight somebody,
yeah,
you're ready.
I'm ready. I can do it.
Little Snipe is ready.
Baby Snipes.
Baby Snipes. There you go. Yeah, I wish you really make it, man. It'd be cool.
Thank you.
Like it'd be real cool because now we know you. So.
Yeah, now we know me. So that's the only reason why it matters.
When we look at your picture on the wall, we'll say, "Remember when?"
Yeah.
Oh, here's hoping, man. I hope I keep 11. Doing cool shit
and like that Hollywood
A-lister.
Yeah, A-lister.
Oh god, that's not even in my goals for myself. My goal is to do good. My goal is to do good work and to be known for being good at what I do, not to be known for what the fuck I'm wearing or how I did my hair or any of that crap. It's like I just want to be good.
It'll come.
Yeah,
the way I say it.
Yeah.
If it meant to come,
I agree.
You move in the right direction. Like doing the things as you're having fun.
I'm playing like the coolest female part ever on TV right now.
Really, I'm playing a badass. Yeah.
If opportunity opens up, if it's there, you take it.
Yeah.
But you keep moving forward. You gotta explore life, man. You gotta explore life. So many things to do.
There are so many things.
Especially when you have good energy like that.
Thanks.
You'll find some.
Yeah. Hopefully that. I mean, Girl Fight's like one of my favorite films with Michelle Rodriguez in it.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen it? Girl Fight, Michelle Rodriguez.
No,
it was like her first film before she did any of the Fast and Furiouses and stuff.
Really?
Okay.
And she hadn't done any films yet, and this is so I've heard. And they had these coaches kind of observing the last few actresses. And apparently she just had such willpower and commitment and whatever in her training sessions that they were like, yeah, she's got the part.
Yeah, she's kind of typecast for that badass tough chick though. I mean, it's
different than that.
It's nice.
Yeah, they do like.
That is the whole tough.
She brings it up.
Yeah, tough girl, tough chick.
But you're I think starting out where you're the series you're on, it's not really you're not doing the same type stuff, so you're not going to be typecast per se.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully,
it'll open it up for other
my
stuff.
character, I get to do because I'm constantly undercover. I get to be other people, not just Jazz the sniper.
Exactly.
I get to be a little subservient Arab woman, and whoever I have to be in disguise in order to get the mission done. So that's been fun. I mean, the last episode we did, I was speaking 3 languages, 2 accents. I had it was crazy. And then, a whole fight sequence. And that's actually Monday's episode. And it's the best episode so far. But anyway.
Cool.
Every episode is the best episode.
No, it's not true.
No, really?
It's not true.
Not true. Okay. Look at us, man. We're when we start, it's like, I mean, it's like, you do what you love, and you see where it takes you.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing. It's like we've done. When we started first, we did Holly.
We tortured poor Holly.
We tortured Holly. This is something I don't even remember. We'll ever look back to to that interview.
To that interview.
Yeah, because we never done it. We just say, hey, let's freaking.
And you were like, and let's get Holly as a first person.
Yeah. Just a second. Francis Diego was with Shermanator, and that was Holly, and we're interrupting her and things because we're not. We're not professionals, but we love doing it. We like opening up this.
Yeah, and then but you know which ones are the best.
We're learning.
Yeah,
we're learning, and one gets one better than the other. Sometimes so it's like
this is the best one today.
I think
today.
So.
Oh yeah, how many have you done today?
It has good energy. Sometimes you have you have to because
long pause.
we have to learn how to open people up and get them talking and kind of you want to make it fun, not dry. Because then certain people just. The way they are is the way they are. Okay, we'll just talk.
One-line answer. Okay, now it's silent. Let's go again.
We're in the process of learning, just like you learning your trade.
Yeah, and I think season 1 of any show, people are feeling their way out. The writers, the showrunners, everyone. The actors are getting to know their characters. Everything's kind of feeling it out. Yeah. But for me, I love episode 4. I thought episode 4 was amazing. Episode 7, I quite like. It's quite high up there. But then for me, it's 8 onwards. 8 onwards are just the best.
Can I ask you a question? Where can I? Because I don't have cable.
NBC.com.
But you have to subscribe. I want to watch from. Yeah,
free.
But you have to have. You just
watch commercials and then.
NBC.com or the NBC app on your phone.
Episode.
Watch it.
Just
do it. Get up to.
So busy.
Yeah. Episode. It's also,
how many episodes?
have you? You're up to date. Mondays is the best one so far. It's the full finale, and then we come back on January 1st, but it ends on a huge cliffhanger.
How many episodes are you in?
I'm in every single one.
No, I'm saying like the show.
Excuse me.
No, not you in the show.
13. No, 13.
I just want to binge watch it. Like
sit down and watch it all. 13, but episode 9 comes out on Monday. Then we come back out on January 1st with episode 10 after the cliffhanger. 11, 12, 13. That's the end of season 1, and then we find out in May about season 2.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be watching.
I was taking pictures of you a couple of days ago. You were in here with Joey, and I feel bad now because we were supposed to get them up for the show, but I didn't have time to edit them. But I talked to you a little bit about that, and I got depressed because you said season 1 you're going somewhere else after.
That's kind of sad. It's kind of part of.
We wanted you here. We wanted to keep you here.
I know. I'd love to come back.
Man.
We're gonna move to Albuquerque.
Everyone does for the
if you're gonna be a fighter, move to Albuquerque.
Well, we have Albuquerque Studios.
Albuquerque Studios. That's what I'm saying. But then season 2 we can't do here because every episode's set in a different country. And so our set deck people and our location scouts are so good. They have made Albuquerque look like Paris. They have made Albuquerque cool. Paris, France. They've made Albuquerque look like Ukraine. Albuquerque look like, what else have we done? Africa. Mongolia.
Russia.
Nigeria.
Aren't you in Russia?
Did we do a Russia episode? We did Mongolia into China. Ukraine. We did Ukraine.
Okay. Here's something funny. I auditioned for a Russian part in that movie.
The Spetsnaz or whatever?
I don't know what it was. Yeah, I was supposed to be, man. I suck. But I did one movie with Michelle and Carlos. I had a better fight scene. I had some parts. So I thought, and everyone clapped. It was like low budget. It was like I just had no where it came out from. I just came out and started swinging and did this, and then everyone was like clapping.
It's so different when it's.
And it wasn't no auditions. It was nothing like this. It was just like Mark said, hey, let's go. We'll do this movie, blah blah. And it came out so natural. So gave me full sense of confidence.
Yeah, and you were like, I'm gonna be an actor.
So and I come from lunch or whatever, and somebody tells me there's 2 girls looking for Russian fighters or whatever, Russian people that they left their phone number. I called. They invited me. I went to Albuquerque Studios and stuff. So first I came in the morning. They like, hey, do this. Or
here's
they
your
sent me
dialogue.
script. Yeah. They sent me script before, so I kind of learned it. Whatever. It was just 2 girls, and I did very fine. They said it was great. Blah blah blah. They recorded me. I kind of suffered a little bit, but I did okay. And said, won't you come back? And usually when they say, won't you come back? Won't you come back? Meet director.
Yeah.
So and I thought it's a good sign, obviously, right? So they say a good sign. So when I got there and director came in there, I flopped. There was like 3 people.
You got too anxious.
There was like 3 people in there. Like I was just like, it is what it is. And then, I was just like that. I forgot everything I was supposed to say, and then they didn't call me back.
So, tell the rest of the story because we had the seal on the show.
Mikhail Vega.
He said they brought in actual a Russian guy with the
huge scar on his. I know who we're talking about.
Misha says, I think I'm going to be on a future episode. I tried out for a part, and
he's like, they already cast it.
And he's like, oh, we showed that last night. You didn't make it, but
filmed like 6 weeks ago.
He was crushed.
But you know what I memorize the most? It's completely actually irrelevant, but it's just something that happened. Keith Jardine, right?
Yeah.
He's big in movies. And he's done a lot of parts, right? It's funniest thing. So the morning when I go in, right? They have this elevator, so I went to 2nd floor. And when I go down, the doors open up, and Keith Jardine literally standing here. Hey, hello, blah, blah, hug.
We all know each other,
blah, blah. I move on, right? The second time when they call me in, right, I go up, I flop my up, I take the elevator, come down, door opens up, Keith Jardine right in front of me.
That's hilarious.
It was the most funniest deja vu I've ever freaking experienced in my life.
I've done this already.
It just happened this morning, bro. How?
I think Keith got the part.
He probably did. But he was auditioning for another thing. But and then I talked to him later. I'm like, Keith, man, that's so nerve-wracking. He's like, man, I've been doing it for a while. He says, fighting is so much easier, bro.
Yeah.
Like going and stand in front of camera when everyone's looking at you and expecting you to do certain things, and you want to make an impression and make it right and do it right.
Auditioning's so much harder than when you actually have the job.
This Russian was not Russian enough. They picked a guy from Texas with a southern accent.
That's what upset me, man. I'm freaking.
I'm Russian. I'm Russian. What you doing?
How realistic can I get?
Yeah, I'm authentic. Pick me. I'm like, whatever. Rick doesn't want me. He's like, pick one. You know, run gym or be an extra. I'm like,
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose him. I think he's calling people down at the studios. Don't pick this guy. I can't lose my manager.
No, but to be honest with you, I'm trying to build a very good relation with Albuquerque studios and movie industry because we have so many guys here. Not for me. For me, I really don't care, to be honest with you. It's just I want to be exposed to this, and so Albuquerque Film Studios and
get involved and do stunt work.
Our guys get jobs, you know, because there's a lot of up and coming fighters that they can break out in the industry. They always, you know, they putting their heart out, coming here and training and chasing their dreams. You know, it could be supplemental income, doing extras, doing things like that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying.
Dodson was in the second episode that I shot out here.
Oh, was he? That's cool.
It aired as the 5th episode, but it was the first episode I'd shot in Albuquerque, and I turned around and I was like.
I love how popular the show is. It's funny because the Albuquerque Journal, our big newspaper here in Albuquerque, my parents are like one of the only subscribers to that thing still. And they get it every morning, and they open it up one morning, and it was talking about the... They open it up and there's a story about the Brave at Jackson Wink, and so they're like, "Hey, your gym was on the cover of the thing with the Brave, and we love the Brave." They're talking about all
you know,
it's
crazy. I actually got a cab out of here the other day, and on the ride home, the guy's like, "Oh, what'd you do? Were you a fighter?" I was like, "No," and I just didn't say anything, and then he was like, "Oh, how long have you been in Albuquerque?" I'm like, 4 months. He's like, 4 months? That's a long time. What have you been doing? I was like, work. He's like, what do you do? I was like, I'm an actress. And then he's like, oh, really? What are you in? I was like, I'm in The Brave. And he was like, I love that show.
Yeah. What do you play?
So, yeah, exactly. And then I was like,
you must not watch it.
You don't watch it. But then he starts telling me about every episode. And I'm like, yo, this dude actually watches it. I was like, wait, so you didn't recognize me?
How cool is that?
And he's like, no, because I don't expect you to get into my car.
Well, and you got your accent.
And I've got an accent, and Jazz doesn't have an accent or whatever. And I was just like... That is insane. You are right next to me. I wasn't even in the back seat. I sat in the front seat. So we are next to each other, and he doesn't recognize me.
Did he want a selfie?
He didn't, but I've had a few people say, like, can we get a selfie? And I'm like, okay.
So where's the coolest place that you've actually been recognized so far?
Where's the coolest place? When I went back to Wildcard for a couple of days, when I went to LA like a couple of weeks ago, someone came up to me in Wildcard and was like, are you in The Brave? And I was like, this is where it all began.
It's happening.
This is where it all began.
You're going to remember that forever now.
Yeah. See? And then Freddie, I love Freddie Roach. He asked me to marry him, and I said yes.
Really? Yeah.
It's never really going to happen, but...
How cool is that?
Yeah, Freddie and I. Yeah, he is. He's great.
Coach Wink always talks about him, too.
Man, how about that, him and GSP, man? That's a pretty cool relationship.
Did you watch the fights?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
What do you think of Holly versus Cyborg? What's your opinion on that one? It's a big one, huh?
It's a big one.
Well, Holly is a giant slayer, man. She proved that before.
She's proved that. Yeah.
No one says she can't do it again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, I'm with Holly. I trained.
Of course,
I'm with Holly. Of course, I'm with
Holly.
Like, I'm like, come on, girl. Like, do it again.
It just got announced for the headline, UFC 219, December 30th. So we're very excited about it. It's in Vegas.
In Vegas.
Yeah, it's in Vegas. I don't know.
You know, I'd love to go to a fight.
Yeah,
we're going.
I don't know. I'm so scared to go.
When is it? December
30th. You know what? I stopped
I'll be in
watching.
Thailand.
Yeah, we can't watch it anymore. We hate
knowing
it.
these guys, I stopped watching fights.
Because you don't want to watch them get battered.
Yeah, not even that. Like it just I get anxious.
That's what I mean. You don't want to watch someone who you like.
We get anxiety, and
it's different when it's someone you don't know.
And you know what we do for anxiety? We have to take this. Our sponsor. We take that CBD oil.
Well, we have to. We have to take it.
I like that plug, bro.
No, but it works. This CBD stuff.
Have you tried that?
Have you tried it?
I haven't.
Heard of it?
No.
Here's some discount cards for you. No, seriously.
No, we do have a local CBD company called CBD Boutique.
Yeah.
This is so funny.
15% off.
Do you know what I do love though? Radish downstairs.
Oh, yeah, punch cards.
Oh, that place is good. Yeah.
Oh, punch cards. I mean, all over the CBD.
Radish will hook you up downstairs.
Do you have any animals?
I have a dog.
Is she anxious sometimes?
Never.
Never? Well,
no,
if she was anxious.
No, they actually have a pet line. They do have a pet line.
It's so funny to me.
Like dogs that are sick and like animals that are sick.
No, my dog's not anxious.
I didn't even know this stuff existed.
But does she
apparently
sleep well?
pets have anxiety issues.
Like that.
How old?
She's 3.5.
Oh, yeah.
She'll become a mess the older she gets. Ow, pains. Yeah, she'll need it.
Yeah.
But you know what? Actually, to be honest with you, like, do you supplement a lot? Like, because you're training, you're putting your body through stress.
You know what I did? I used to take a lot of different shit, and now I take nothing. I don't even take protein anymore.
Really?
How come? What
I don't know. Something just in me was like, I just think I needed to clear out myself. I just was taking so much crap. I was like, magnesium, protein, like, cod, fish oil, whatever, a pre-workout, after workout, whatever the hell.
That's why I asked you, because my wife yesterday told me, because she sees all my supplements. She's like, there's side effects from everything you take in that crap. And I'm like, man, I've been taking it for like years. I'm like,
and you just become used to and I was just like, I don't even know what works anymore. There's so much of it that I can't even be like, oh, that's the thing which helps me.
Gimmicks, like they put whatever, like you're reading stuff on the cans, and you're like.
Mikhail's been good at telling you what he's very good. He's very into very clean, pure supplements and whatever.
We have Dr. Anita here. She's phenomenal.
Who'll help you with that stuff. Yeah, exactly.
We have access to these people. Really.
So yeah, I mean that. But then I just was like, I got to a point where I was like. I'm just over it. I'm over it. I feel like all the time.
But I think about like holistic stuff, like
holistic stuff.
This is from the earth, like from Earth.
Says everyone.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you you go to like I went to Vitamin Shop today and they got so much freaking like chemicals in there. It's like you'd be like,
it's crazy. That's the thing that's meant to make you better, but but it's like radioactive by the end of it.
Everything is killing us, man.
Even food these days, like you take stuff like everything is like it always makes me laugh. Like you'll go to the store and you'll have this like eggs, more expensive eggs says hormone free, no antibiotics, as clean as cage wherever, and then you have a box next to it which doesn't say. So are you telling me
that one is full of?
So this one is full of like
antibiotics. Was raised in a cage.
Eat this, or pay extra $1 and eat this, like. Like, is that what you're supplying to public? Like, I don't understand food industry at all.
I can't eat anything that comes in a packet anymore. Like any.
So no M&Ms for you.
No,
sadly,
I stopped. I'm trying to take all the sugar out of my system. Completely.
Yeah, I joined
natural.
I did sugar-free, wheat-free, dairy-free for like 4 months. I'm just coming off it now, but like for the majority of the show, I was completely 100%
dairy-free,
sugar-free, dairy-free, and wheat-free. Sugar-free was.
What was the hardest?
Sugar, because in America, not in in America, it's in everything. So I had to tell catering like I don't eat sugar, and so I'd like have something on my plate, like some vegetables or something, and they'd be like, "Oh, there's sugar on that."
Yeah, craft services is.
I was like, "I'm sorry," and they'd be like, "In the sauce that it's cooked in, there's a little bit of sugar," and I'd have to like take it off my plate because I went that hardcore that I was like, "I'm not having sugar anywhere." Every sauce.
And the same thing with like internet and stuff. Like one day you'll read something, right? Like there's a headline, coffee is good for you. The next day,
coffee will kill you.
It's like Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, red wine's so good for you.
Milk, don't drink milk.
But only drink this much red wine.
Eggs.
Right.
If you eat eggs, you get this. But then if you eat eggs, maybe you'll get.
I know. You just have to. God. You have to feel it out. You have to figure. I'm still trying to figure out.
And you still don't know.
What feels good, I guess. I mean, for me, I'm like trying to work it out. Even with my training regime, I swap from like sometimes I do like super heavy weights and I start getting really chunky and I'm like, I don't really like this. Everything hurts. What am I doing? And then suddenly I'll be like, all body weight, and then I'll be like, I don't really feel.
I feel the same. I go through the same thing.
So you've got to find your system, and you've got to find. I think it's the same with food. I know that being 100% sugar-free didn't make me happy. I felt like every single day I felt better, healthier, cleaner being wheat-free and dairy-free. Sugar-free, yeah, agreed, but I also felt like every single day I was depriving myself of something.
Sugar's a drug.
And in one way, yeah, it is.
It's death, it's cancer.
But in one way, it's like, oh, I feel so strong because all of you motherfuckers are eating sugar and I'm over here and I don't do it. And then in another way, you're like, all I do all day, every day is say, no, you can't, Tash. No, you shouldn't have that. No. And it's that doesn't work for me.
Depressing because you want it.
Because it's like they're both extremes. You're either way up here or you're down here. And it's like, why don't I just live a life where I avoid sugar? And then if one day I want something, I just eat it.
There you go.
And then I don't have to eat 40 of it because I know that the next time I want it, I can have it again.
That's Greg Jackson's philosophy. There's a video of him doing one promo or something talking about it, and it's
everything in moderation.
Yeah, everything in moderation. But like, you need a break. You need a cheat meal, and you need something like this because you kind of like it gives you something to wait for.
Yeah.
Like if it's, let's say, a Saturday, and you know what? Like, don't go like completely crazy. Let me get like 5 sneakers and stuff. Like M&Ms and stuff. Like, allow yourself.
But have a burger.
I cheat every day. I love it.
Yeah, he's a cheater.
I cheat for both you guys.
You have to. You make a decision though. You make a decision about what your priorities are in life.
Train jiu-jitsu.
I train a lot of stuff.
Showing his inner lining.
Yes, and I love it.
But that's the thing.
It's all about cheating.
But that's the thing. You've got to make a decision. You've got to be like, what's my priority? What makes me feel better, eating or being on a diet?
Man, you guys are always in pain though with all this training. I have no pain. I love it.
I always say it's like this: like if something doesn't hurt, something's not right. That's my philosophy.
That's kind of like me.
Yeah, if something doesn't hurt, if my body is not sore,
I didn't give enough.
Yeah, I didn't give
I
enough.
don't think that's a good philosophy, but it's one that a lot of people
true.
have. Yeah,
it's true. It's like
if I'm not aching or
when you feel that burn, you're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good again. Unless it's something like really bad inside you're feeling, it's like, okay, something's wrong. But like for the most part, you're always going to be
the
sore
burn.
from training.
You're always chasing the burn.
Yeah, it's cool. Hey, what's are you trying for like any other movies, like or any audition?
I am, but I can't talk about any of that.
Okay,
it's just started. It's just started again now. Because now we're coming to the end. I leave here in like 3 weeks. Season 2 wraps soon. I mean, season 1. Oh, God, that was positive thinking over there.
I love it. Yeah,
reject that positive.
2 episodes, 2 seasons. We were watching.
Yeah, season 1 ends soon, and so the auditions have started coming in. So now I don't know what's next. I don't know what's around the corner. There's a few things that are
What direction are you trying to take though? Like as an up and coming actress who is doing so well, whose career is taking off, is there any particular path like you want to take in acting, like, or you just open pretty much to anything? You know how they have sometimes like comedy, drama.
Yeah, I mean I'm drama and action more so, and comedy would be fun, but the thing that I think I have above most, I don't know, but like the reason I got cast in this, they audition however many hundreds, thousands, whatever of people for these like main part roles. The reason why I got cast in it, I think, all the way from London, not being American, had to make them work so hard to get me a visa and risk everything and is because I have the fire and the strength and that kind of badass thing just in me, so that some women don't really have, especially a lot of actresses who care a lot about other things that I don't care about. And so I want to materialize on that and keep capitalizing on the badass stuff. I don't want to become just like an action chick but I want to keep being strong women, whether that's physically or emotionally or whatever it is. My goal is to keep portraying strong women, to keep being a strong woman in life and to keep portraying strong women on screen.
So when you submitted
more accessible.
You submitted your headshot. You were like in a gi, looking all badass. And shit. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Everyone else was.
Everyone else had a blow dry, and I'm like, no. But when I went, but you know what? When I went to the audition, loads of girls had their hair down and like makeup on and kind of like army colored clothing, but nothing really like. It was still kind of heeled boots and stuff, and I was there and like I had my hair scraped back with so much hairspray and like this military bun that I'd read how to do.
It worked.
No makeup on. I was just like, well, what's the point? That's not that person's priority.
Yeah.
And kind of army boots and big baggy trousers, and I was like,
that's fascinating how that works. It's you never know how.
And I looked at them and I went, look, you're either going to cast me or you're going to cast them. If that's what you're looking for, then I'm so wrong. But if you want this, then they don't stand a chance because they're miles away from what I am.
Yeah, you just went in with that attitude, though, that fighter mentality.
It was, yeah.
It's just funny how this process like starts. Like, how does it take off? Even like, how do you get into that business?
I was lost for a little bit. I was lost for a little bit because I hadn't found my thing yet. It was before I started training, and I just looked like what I looked like, and I just was what I was, and it was like I kept getting these parts that were just kind of like pretty girl next door, whatever. And every time I went to an audition, I'd get feedback being like, "Oh, it was really good," but like. There was something they'd say to my agents. Specifically one time, I was meant to be doing like a cute couple scene or whatever, and then this woman calls and she's like, the whole time I was like, is she going to kill her husband? And I was like, what? And she's like, in a good way, basically she added a layer that wasn't there. There's just something about her that's more kind of like, you want to tilt your head out. You don't just take it as what it is. She's like, I don't think she'll play boring girl next door. I don't think she'll play Little Miss Nice,
Yeah, your mommy dearest or something cool. Yes.
Yeah,
crazy.
And then I was like, so what am I going to do? How am I going to be different? And then at the time I was just personal training or whatever, just to keep fit and look good or whatever the fuck. And then someone held up pads for me once and I was like, oh, I like this. And then our PT sessions turned into more like pad work than like anything else. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I'm not going to like normal gyms anymore. I'm going to join a boxing gym. And I suddenly went hardcore and I called my agents. I was like, I've made a decision that I'm gonna become a badass.
Wow.
Like, I'm going to become a credible badass. And I remember one of my agent in the UK said to me, one day I wasn't doing an audition on time, or I hadn't done something because I said I had training. And he was like, don't try and trick yourself into believing that training is your job. Training is not your job. You are not a badass. You will not be a badass. If you need to do that to feel better about yourself, go ahead, do it. Do it in your own time. But don't pretend it's work. And I was like, fuck you, I'll show you.
Fired him.
Fucking show you. I didn't, but I actually didn't. But I reminded him of that conversation when I got this part and was like, don't you ever speak.
This is what makes you happy, though.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do it. It's like, I mean, I'm not in it, but like, I do it like, it's my getaway. It's my safe zone.
Yeah, but it's like the more I believed it, the more other people started believing it. And then next thing you know, everything I was getting called in for was like cop, FBI, you know, angry, like, teenager who, you know, has a criminal record, or like things started changing, and the casting and the things that people were seeing in me were very different. And by the time
the training brought it out,
by the time I got to America, like for my pilot season, my auditions out there, every part I had was like, I got offered 2 military parts within like 2 weeks, my first 2 weeks in America.
Well, when you're doing an action shot with Jason Statham one of these days, can you hire this guy?
Yes, of course.
This is a stunt double.
Anytime they're like, we're looking for stunts, I'll be like, okay.
He thinks Jason Statham is copied his facial features.
I've probably been told 100 times I look like him. I don't see it, but I don't know why.
You do look like him. You do. You're like, yeah, okay, I'll take it.
Don't tell him it. His ego's big enough as it is.
Do you keep track of all the parts, all the movie parts you've done? How many? How many on your record?
IMDb is...
No, I want to just for the show.
She's losing track, man.
I'm not. Don't be silly. I did a hilarious Hallmark film, which is like the opposite of who I am. It was a Valentine's movie, and I'm dressed fully in pink, and I'm like a little secretary. That was ridiculous.
Okay.
That was in between getting the badass stuff. It was like,
have embarrassing moments. We experienced some already.
The funniest thing was that I was halfway into my training, kind of like becoming bigger or whatever. So I had these like muscles, and I had this little tiny pink top on, and these like muscles like coming out of them. It was terrible. Everyone was like, "This is kind of strange looking."
It's freakish.
So I did that. I did Hurricane Heist, which comes out soon. That's 2 movies.
Nice.
2 movies and then like 4 or 5 TV shows.
What was your very first one?
Silent Witness. It's like the British CSI.
So we can't see it in America.
I'm sure you can find it online. Yeah.
Silent Witness.
Silent Witness.
And when was that? That was a couple years ago.
No, it was like a year and a half ago. I started this like a year and a half ago.
We have
2 years ago.
You're brand new.
We
2
have
years ago,
IMDb.
maybe I started this. Yeah.
We too have IMDb credits, huh?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
cool
you
like
guys
that.
got your IMDb credits, documentaries.
No, then with Michelle,
that's
the
you
one
probably.
I did. You don't have IMDb credits?
Yeah,
You
I think I do.
You do.
Just different things, filming, behind the scenes, behind the camera stuff.
So your career, like, did you chase this or it just became
Always
natural?
chased it.
You chased
Always
it. You went
chased
after
it.
it. Felt
Oh
like
my
it's
god, the
gonna-
grind. Oh my
something's
god, the
gonna open up.
grind. Yeah, I worked
And it
hard.
did, and it
I worked
did.
really hard.
So cool.
Nothing comes. I don't think anything comes for free in life, and I think when you hear stories like mine of like things happening relatively quickly, and the climb up the ladder happening relatively, it involves a lot of work. I did more auditions than anyone I know, like anyone my age who went to my drama school. I did more auditions than any of them that I know. I work harder than a lot of actors that I know who are unemployed.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
It's
It's
a
like
hard
people get
trade.
lazy when they're unemployed, and people don't want to keep auditioning, and they don't want to do a 10-page script when there's no guarantee that they'll get the part. Whereas I will learn all 10 pages, I will do the whole 10-page audition, I will be off book, I will never and it's that kind of just commitment to the cause and realizing that nothing comes for free in life. I think that's...
Well, speaking of working hard, you've been extremely generous with your time today.
Thank you.
We do appreciate it. We know you're very, very busy, and it's an honor to have you in our studio.
Thank you for having me. It feels great to be here.
But the acting reminds me of actually like fighting too, like as a field and trying to make it in the sport. Because I remember we went, me, Michelle, and my wife. I remember we went to the Barlands thing. We had like to LA, and the first time I was in LA, and I mean, I'm already familiar with fighters, how they, how many people really make it in these big fields, So it's like, and and a lot of inspiring fighters chasing the dream to become John Joneses of this world, Holly Holmes, and become as big as they can by chasing it, obviously. And the same thing, I was driving, I took an Uber and to the airport in LA, and then the guy in the car, the driver, like poor student, like literally. Say, hey, what are you doing? I started talking. He's like, yeah, I'm acting, man. I'm trying to like break in and stuff like that. And I'm thinking of our fighters too, like the guys that are just like at that like lowest level that try and make a name for themselves. It's kind of like, you know, I'm like, I support it.
Yeah.
Like, go for it. If this is your dream, if you really
you can often tell who's gonna and who's not.
Yeah.
There's something about the level of commitment.
Yes, 100%.
That they need it. You need it to survive.
You have to have commitment. You have to have fire. You have to just like, you know, you're gonna fall down on your face, not stop. I think people are afraid to take chances.
Yeah.
They're afraid to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
They're afraid to be told bad, and you know, it happened to me many life too in my life, because trying to get into the business like, stop chasing it, it's not for you, go get a normal job. Like, no, I love the sport, I'm gonna be in
I'm gonna do it,
and fuck you all.
Yeah, that's what my you know, in my audition for jazz, like my final audition, the producers asked me, they were like, what is it about her that is so similar to you? Why do you? And I was like, because I'm the same as her. As soon as someone tells me I can't do something, I say, fuck you, I'll show you. And like, I was like, shit, you're not meant to swear in front of Americans. I had this thing that like Americans swear less than British people, and I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to apologize for that. Like, and I just said in front of a room full of producers of NBC, and I was just like, fuck you, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Coach Wink says those feelings, man. Everyone has feelings.
He doesn't care about feelings. He hates feelings.
That's
ruining America, all these damn feelings.
Old school, yeah.
Fucking feelings. Everyone with their
feelings. He used a homophobic slur.
Oh.
Hey, boom, boom. Baseball bat. He said, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Feelings are destroying America.
Oh, God.
It's not just America. I think it's destroying the whole world.
There's an oversensitivity.
It's oversensitivity, or there's so many different groups and separations, and that people build around themselves, and everyone has an agenda.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna plug CBD Boutique one more time, and just tell them thank you for our wonderful show. We appreciate everything you've done for us to get us to. And look at that, she's flashing her cards, buy one get one free or whatever. Thanks. Make sure you guys go visit them if you're local.
CBD, we go Hollywood, you go Hollywood. support the JW Raw. We're here. We're doing it.
But good luck with the picking up another season, and good luck with the rest of your career. We hope to see you.
I hope I'm back.
Always welcome here.
Please come back.
Always welcome. Come train anytime. Bring your friends.
Yeah, I will. I can't wait to come back. Yeah. Haven't even left yet.
You're
here forever. We're gonna have you sign that. Have you signed the wall?
I have not.
We're gonna take you to the dorms. We'll have you introduce, take some pictures and stuff.
Pictures.
But thanks again for coming in and being so generous with your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Let the rest of the cast know that they're welcome to come say hi to us too. And we will see you downstairs training and up until you leave.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Right. Cool.
See ya. Oh, the mask is on.
Thanks, guys.
Through these doors walk the greatest fighters in the world.